weren't by any means pretty perfect all the time. We had a nice view in the public eye, and I think behind closed doors, you and I were still great. I just had my own battles that I needed to face, ultimately. Doesn't mean you didn't have yours, but I know I had mine, as I referred to in the past. Darkness, whatever we want to call it, episode, that, I had my scars, and those scars I healed up through God, and through, in some sense, sobriety, and practicing sobriety.
Well,
even abstinence, and I told you that when I met you, and how important certain things were, that I just wasn't believing. I wasn't buying into God's word. I wasn't buying into God's way. And it's interesting where God's taken me, or where I've allowed myself to go through cause and effect, through God's grace, through my own inner demons and darkness and temptations. To just get to where I'm at, though, I can't help but credit the village, God. I'm grateful for my openness, my tiredness. I've said it to you before. The only way I've separated from that darkness was just being literally tired of not feeling as if I could see anything.
right. You were tired of not being fulfilled, and when you realized that all your fulfillment was coming from God, and then when we got together, it was all about, like, here, let me show you respect and let me show you love. And when you've got grace, love, and respect coming from God and the person or woman, me, that you're with, it's like, wow, we got a triple threat.
Right. Oh, it's awesome. I remember sharing with you everything when I met you and how I met you, so it's really cool that we're where we're at. Would have never assumed or thought we'd be where we were at. And it's like, one guy that doesn't even know it, you would say this all changed in December, and it's like the day you came back from freaking Vegas, and who did this? And he doesn't even know it. How little have I been talking to that guy? And he's such a good friend of mine, JT. And he's the one that planted the seed, like, hey, you want to come to church with me again? And it's all it took. It's all it took to get whatever you want to say, back on track, maybe. There's people that can judge each other all they want. I have had such a great group of people around me, and regardless of how others view any one of them, I view them with love. I view them with understanding, as I would want to be treated. So,
Brothers and sisters.
yeah, it's so rad to me, and I don't know how, or why I'm that way, but reggae music had its influence, and the message they say in their music is so loving. Bob Marley, One Love. We could go on, but the baseball thing that I was bringing in and the world we're in, it's kind of unfortunate to think about, the game and the rules. The game and the rules in the world. Think about all the places we go eat right now. Think about the plasticware. Think about the way we're exchanging monies. No more cash is seemingly going on for a little bit. And then you got all the, barriers in between us as we're paying for whatever we're getting.
Lines
to get into places. We know this. Mm-hmm. And I'm not here to condemn our society for doing what we're doing, by any means.
We just need to find the love.
It's just, my concern is, where is that love? Are we still able to give it? Is it being robbed from us? And if so, by what and who? And can we deter it?
Fear.
And yes, this is things that we have to realize. And
Realize or real lies?
Right. It's scary for me in the game of baseball, as that guy's going to throw the ball there, that ball's going to go there. Ball's going to go all over the freaking place. And if that's not allowed, then the game of baseball is not going to be played. It's already insane at the big league level how many baseballs they go through. When I was there, fortunate enough to be there, we went through a lot of baseballs. I know so because when you're pitching, you know, it's brand new, it's white every time. They're not back there scrubbing it either. Like, they're nice, brand new baseballs.
Ball boys and umpires for a reason.
Yeah, and it's minor leagues and then high school, college, the independent leagues, the leagues overseas. There's so many baseballs being played with. I don't know how the leagues are doing it in Asia right now and any other leagues that are playing with baseballs. I haven't been following it enough, so I am ignorant to that. I'm just paying attention to the stuff that I'm hearing here in the United States. You know, the spitting thing. I know for me, I lick my fingers when I pitch. That is a big deal. Now, I'm not in baseball right now, so it's not too relative. I want to be. You and I know that.
Yeah.
I hope and have faith that I will one day get that opportunity, but it's not going to come just by accident. If I don't have it, is it because I'm not good enough? No, not necessarily. Is it because it's not the right time? Possibly. I mean, I don't know. People can go on and on and on. I love it. That's all that matters. I love it. I believe God will provide. I don't mean to interrupt while you're about to say something. It's just to see the game change, though. I've seen it change in small ways since signing out of high school in 2008. That's a long time ago. 12 years in some sense.
Yeah.
So, and I feel as good as I've ever felt.
Brain food.
I got a little tickle in my throat right now.
Brain food for health.
Yeah. I feel as good as I've ever felt with a little tickle in my throat, but that's probably from the desert weather, that hot, cold.
Yeah, 107.
We keep it, 68 degrees in here at night, it's 110 degrees in the day.
I was just gonna say, sorry to interrupt you, but I was just gonna say God's will be done.
Yeah, as Ian says, or would say, on the river. God's will be done. I believe that to to the degree of there is a bigger plan, something bigger than us. I believe to be second to that. I'm learning more about what it means to submit myself to that and that plan, if you will. It's difficult. It's very difficult. It's difficult to let go of the world. I think the fishing example is one of my favorite ones for that, with resistance. If a fish doesn't just swim into the boat once it bites the hook, it's the last thing it thinks to do. It continues to swim and swim and swim and fight. And I think that's what naturally we, struggle with. Not so much when we come to the Lord or come to Jesus and come to God. Not everyone's going to struggle with that fight. But I think at some point that urge, those temptations, I think might still be there. And it could just come from family, friends, exposure. That's a big one. You can't do things you're not exposed to.
Right.
But the reality is you're exposed to a lot of things in this world, and if you decide to shelter yourself, it's hard to do, and you could be at shock or putting yourself in position to be shocked when entering the world, because the world is wild, and it's governed to be tame and create order, and I think that's crucial. Anybody that doesn't think that there should be some sense of order, I think is a little
out there
beyond wild. I don't know, not judging them in a negative way. I think order is very relative. Mm-hmm. And I think especially, when I believe in God, order is mandatory. It's not just rational. It doesn't just make sense. No. I can't fight it. That's the part that's difficult with faith. And at the same time, it also makes this really easy. And it has for me. I'm not saying it is for everyone. It's thank Jesus. I thank Jesus for my ability to love. And not so much love perfectly, but love in a way of trusting Him from a health perspective. Trusting right now, shaking somebody's hand, that's a big thing for me. I respect somebody that wants to knuck up or even just like, nope, that's not appropriate. But in the few times here in the last month where I've had the opportunity to meet somebody, it's been refreshing to shake their hand, knowing that this world's in the position we're in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's giving me, that's a little refresher on hope or in hope. I guess you would say in humanity, as I'm like, what has happened? And it's natural. I cannot condemn. I'm not here to condemn. It's so natural when our health is at stake for us to do what we're doing. It's like a snail in its shell, a turtle in its shell. It's anything is going to react when it's feeling threatened. So
Yeah, definitely.
it's pretty amazing.